All right, 9-0 for the first time ever, and first top 10 win in school history. We've got head coach Mark Campbell here following tonight's win over Florida Atlantic. We'll take an opening statement from coach and then follow up with questions in the room.
Hey, 9-0. I think we did that last year too. Brady.
We did.
We did, okay.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry, texting FAU.
You were talking about 2024, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, just really proud of our team, you guys. When you have a big game lurking like we do on Sunday against South Carolina, especially with young people, you're always a little anxious of if they're locked in on this game and making sure their heads are right, and just really proud of how they came out and the energy they showed in the first half that they played. And that's something this group's done really well this season, is take care of business on the front end before a big game, and they've always followed up after a big game like they did against South Florida. So there's just an awesome maturity to this group, and they understand what's at stake. And as we continue to take it one game at a time and build our resume, it's been awesome. So really proud, glad to be done with this one. And now we get to turn the page to the biggest game in program history.
You talked earlier this week about that shift from being the hunter to being the hunted. Beyond just the shift in attitude or mindset that might take, what does it mean to you to have your team recognized as having made that shift so early on in your tenure here?
Yeah, the ranking, being a top 10 team in the country, when we came here, that was the goal, is to, and you don't know how long it's going to take. Those things usually take years. Sometimes they never happen. But the goal, and as you're attracting and recruiting a certain kind of talent and kid, you know, we've been very picky in setting the standard of we need to get this kind of player in order to get where we want to go. And so it's very rewarding, just excited for the program. The fan base, you know, was at rock bottom of college basketball, and to be recognized around the country for the collection of players that we have, the way we're playing the game of basketball, it means a lot. And the goal coming here when we got hired was to build one of the premier programs in the country. And even I mean, I didn't think it would happen, you know, a season and 8 games into our tenure, but TCU is a special place. I think I said in my very first press conference, but there's no reason we can't compete at the highest level here and attract the best players from around the world to TCU. And our staff's worked really hard on the recruiting trail. And so it's really neat that it's come to fruition. And it's a fine line of celebrating it and still knowing we haven't accomplished any of our goals in regards to this season, this year. Our goals all happen in March. But it's evident of tonight, this, you know, you talked about being the hunted, and my speech before the game was, I don't think it changes. Like, we're still out hunting. And today, this game, let's go hunt these guys. And one of the sayings I love to tell the team is a hungry dog hunts best. And that mindset shouldn't change whether we're ranked number 9 or whether we're unranked. We got to have a chip on our shoulder in every game. And so that's the mindset I want this group to have, and they came out with it. They were locked in today, so really proud of them.
How do you balance, you obviously want that bright spotlight on this university, on this program, but it seems like it kind of came all at once. You guys went from unranked and under the radar to now obviously one of the best stories in college basketball. You want to eat that up, but like you said, you also want to stay focused. How do you balance that as a coach and within your program? Yeah,
one, it's good for us. It's good for the school. It's good for our program. We have a really unique collection of players that have a chip on their shoulder, each for a different reason, and each in their journey has been unique. And so they're hungry. And so you want to celebrate what they're doing, and it's fun, and our staff's worked really hard. But I saw a tweet today that said we're, of the top 10 teams in the country, all 5 starters are from the portal. And I think we've embraced the modern college athletics. You know, you took over a 1-17 program and got them to the point where we're top 10 in the country, and you've signed 12 portal players. You know, I don't think anybody else has done that. And I know we're the only team in the top 10 that has 5 portal starters. And so the NIL stuff, we've embraced it. The portal, we've embraced it. And so we've rebuilt this thing really, really quick. And I think we've done it, you know, with the modern era of college athletics of how you got to go about this thing. So it's been fun. It's been exciting fun. And it sounds crazy. We're 9 games into the season. We're just scratching the surface still.
Do you feel like as a coach you've had to adjust to? I loved your halftime speech that we got a behind the scenes look at Notre Dame, because you kind of came down on your players for the way they were playing, but also kept them locked in. Do you feel the way you're delivering your message has changed to meet this kind of new era of college basketball?
Yeah, each group that you have is different. Each season's different. And the ultimate goal is to maximize that group's talent that you have, and how hard you can push them, how much you need to encourage them. That's each group has its own DNA, and so you can't be the same each year. You got to figure out what that group needs, and so the ultimate goal, it's like a reg. You at the end of the season, you want to make sure when you squeeze that reg, there's no drops left. And so this group, that ceiling's really high of making sure there's no drops left in that reg. And so, you know, the halftime speech against Notre Dame was, we were on our heels a little bit, and we got it together in the second half. But every time you're in one of those big games, the kids get more comfortable, and comfortable within themselves and also collectively. I mean, these are big time opponents. These are the best teams in the country. I mean, Notre Dame was number 3 in the country. That's a big stage and a big game. And the more of those you're in, South Carolina, you know, that's the pinnacle. I mean, they're the best program in the country right now. So the more opportunities that we have to be in those environments, gain trust, be in those battles, it's going to pay off in March.
So I know you said you wanted to get this one out of the way. It's out of the way for your prep for South Carolina. What do you really want to see out of this team over the next couple days to get ready for that game?
Yeah, oh man, just by you saying that gets me excited. Tomorrow's our off day, so they get to do their recovery and rest and recharge, and then we get 2 days of prep. You get Friday and Saturday. And for South Carolina, they're so talented and physical and athletic that you got to take care of the ball, which that's something we've done, one of the best teams in the country at. And then you got to defend and rebound. Today, gosh dang, we did a poor job boxing out. So we got to clean that up and watch some film. But this game, you got to defend and rebound at an elite level against these guys. You can't give them second opportunities. And then if you don't take care of the ball, they're explosive in transition. And so there's a lot of things that obviously they're elite at, and we'll be dialed in. And Chavi got this guy. By the way, Ola poured herself into the Owls today in FAU and did a tremendous job on the scout. Really proud of her. And now Chavi gets this one, and so he's been working on these guys, and he'll have a great game plan of what we need to do and how to go about that.
Coaches always talk about not letting one loss lead to a second loss. We saw you guys beat Notre Dame, then they lose to Utah the next night. The most impressive thing I continue to say you've done this season is you've come out after a big win or emotional game and then put it on the next team. How do you continue to instill that in your team?
Yeah, I think that comes back to understanding the DNA of your team, how to pull on the heartstrings, how to motivate, inspire, how to make sure their mind is locked in. I mean, you're dealing with college kids, and we got finals next week, so they're juggling stuff. And so you got to figure out as a staff, one of the things is it's our job to make sure their mind is ready and that they're locked in. And that's what our job is. And so I think we've done a tremendous job as a staff. But that comes back to motivation and how to communicate with this group. And I think we've done a really good job at that. I'm really proud of them. People stub their toe all the time in games that you shouldn't lose. I mean, that happens in college athletics. And this group has left no doubt. There hasn't been a game where we've left any doubt. And so I'm really proud of them.
Your counterpart on Sunday, Dawn Staley, has done a tremendous amount for the sport over the last few years. Can you just talk about her impact and what it means to coach against her?
Oh, for me to go against Coach Staley, just to be on the same court and coach and compete against her. What she's built at South Carolina is special. They're the premier program in the country. As our sport has taken off and been elevated, South Carolina has been a huge part of that. And the crowd and support that they have, they sell out every home game. But it's more than that; it's national. And just the way she goes about it. And handles her business and her program. They are first class in everything they do. And so I am so humbled that our program gets to have a chance to compete against them and play against them. To do it in Fort Worth, you guys, and I really hope the not only women's basketball community, but just the basketball community to show up. This game and this opportunity doesn't come around on the men or women's side. We have a top 10 showdown. And so we need TCU. We need just the community, the student body. I mean, this is a once in a generation opportunity. I mean, I don't know the history of how often this has unfolded. My guess, maybe never. And so I hope there's a great turnout on Sunday.
Anything else? Awesome. Thank you.